it makes sense even more so now why Brad has been reluctant to fill that last spot. Because, again, they may have, I mean, for all we know, Brad may have been looking at the guys coming to camp thinking, yep, we're going to add another wing so that they can give Jalen and Jason a little bit of assistance. But now with this, we don't know whether this changes the calculus that they're using to determine who's going to get that last roster spot or how they're going to fill that. Fiondu becomes a guy that you got to give a lot serious thought to as far as that last spot. And how does that impact, some of those wings that they're bringing in who, have NBA experience and can play in this league, but you got to go by they're in a situation now where the Celtics are moving perilously close to being in a need to add basis versus a wanting to provide more depth. If Robert's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, and as Gary pointed out, 4 to 6 weeks, it probably going to be a little bit longer than that because they don't want to rush him back. So Luke Cornett for 4 to 6 weeks as your backup big or your first big off the bench, I don't know if that's going to cut it. Gary knows it's not going to cut it.
It's not going to cut it.
And we've talked about depth this entire offseason, and you have Gallo now injured. The front court is looking really very thin at this point. So what is the solution? What does Brad Stevens do before we hit October?
Wings, and more wings. You got to go small. He's got to go small. I mean, they're going to play more small ball than I think they wanted to because at the end of the day, when you look at the lineups that Udoka typically plays, he's looking to play the 5 guys that play best together in his mind. And that's probably going to be lineups where you're going to have some combination of Jason, Jalen, and another small guy, whether it's Smart, whether it's Brogdon, out there with maybe one big. Guys are going to have to play bigger. I think you may see Tatum play, a little bit more at that 4 spot than we've seen before. 1, because he has a potential mismatch there, but 2, they may not have a choice in terms of having quality guys on the floor that can do things. So this is a bigger deal than I think most people realize because it has such a major domino effect on not only in terms of roster construction, but also the roster lineups that Ime has to work with and how he's going to utilize them.
Yeah, I mean, I think now you have to consider a couple of guys that you might not have considered before. I would consider DeMarcus Cousins.
Dwight Howard, your boy.
Yeah, Dwight maybe not as much because he's very offensively limited, although he's more of an upgrade defensively. So if you're looking for kind of a defensive replacement, you can bring in Dwight, but is Dwight going to have that influence in the locker room? Do you need him all season? All that. So that's something you got to think about. Or DeMarcus, who's more of an offensive threat, a little bit more toughness. But I'm sorry, if I'm the Celtics, I want a proven player. Luke Cornett has not proven he can play a backup center for any NBA team. He's just kind of hung around, and it's not, we'll give him a shot, but it just seems like a real shot, just a real long shot. This is a real kind of stretch here. You're trying to win games early. You're not trying to start out 10 and 12. You're not trying.
They did that. They know what that movie looks like. They ain't trying to make a sequel.
You're not trying to struggle. This is you're trying to hit dudes in the mouth to begin the season. You were trying to get off to a fast start, and teams are not going to take it easy on you. So to me, you got to ramp up. To me, I would think DeMarcus, or you can get like a low budget Robert Williams, like a young guy who like a guy who always comes to mind is like Norvell Pelly, who's a real jumping jack who's bounced around. Like if you want to do that route, you can get like a younger version of a kind of a pick me up, like a patchwork big. And then we'll go from there. But other than that, like you got to try something because I just don't think you can just go and, hey, Luke, okay, well, now you're going to play, because you're not going to play Al 35 minutes a game. And then so you're going to have to go small with Grant at center at times and, maybe even Jason at center. Like you're going to have to go small or you're going to have to use some Luke. I'm not comfortable with the latter.